Probably more a depiction of the movements of the sun and moon, or light versus dark. There was a casual version of the game played in which there was no sacrifice, and a more formal version in which there was a beheading at the end. The most long-held theory is that it was the captain of the losing team. But some people believe it may have been the winner because they were competing for the honor of getting to skip the underworld and rise as a deity. So we don't know the original rules of the game. There is a remnant of it being played on the West Coast. It's called Ulama, and a unique eyewitness account. Bernal Diaz, one of the conquistadors that went along with Cortez, he wrote an account of his experiences when he was back in Spain, and he said he watched the game being played and it became obvious that they wanted the ball to go through the ring, which was extremely difficult because they couldn't touch it with their hands. And he said if the ball did go through the ring, and the player who did it got to receive all of the spectators' jewelry as a reward, and it was usually the nobles and their best jewelry. So he said he watched the game being played one day, and the ball went through the ring, and all of the spectators jumped up and ran away. They didn't want to give over their jewelry. And up here on the floor of room 3,
That's cheating.
11 human burials were found beneath this floor, and under that sign, the most interesting, the young warrior. That last photograph I showed you in the book, the child, 7 to 12 years of age, with all the animal and human offerings accompanying it, but what turns out to be a very elite person. So elite, you'll see just how elite this person was when I talk about a possible connection to the king, but the most interesting aspect of the burial turns out to be its gender. Because about 8 years ago, the forensics people studying the skeleton determined it to be female, making it the only female dressed as a warrior ever discovered in Mesoamerica. So you have the female warrior, the little girl of the rain, the woman at the house of the wind, the feminine nature of the sunken patio, the fact that this building monitors the movements of the moon as much or more so than the sun, and these are all reasons that Gabriela and her team promote the idea that the site may have had a feminine identity. If there was one patron god worshipped, it may have been a goddess. Duality would be present because another site not far from here has large stone phalluses in the gateways that may have been the male counterpart. The Otomi language is the sister language of Zapotec, spoken in Oaxaca. The Zapotec people are matriarchal. These people may have been as well. That's hard to prove through physical remains, but it worked out perfectly, almost as if it was meant to be. The site's name refers to the Virgin Mary, which is like the Catholic equivalent of the goddess of the moon, or the earth goddess. But there's one thing I have to throw out there for you. Gabriela and almost all the team she hired